All right, y'all, let's get into the 4 cells and blow some wind on those and how they connect to the 4 heads, and just put this into a real easy format to understand, hopefully. Can't get into all of it, but we got the cell for the S-A-L. That's the L for that drunkenness of Babylon, and those cells, they make you sometimes do things you don't want to do. You bring home a bunch of shit you didn't need to bring home and whatever else, right? So then you got the S-A-I-L, where you are able to travel around and see the creation of the natural world, see the creation of man, do whatever and learn and whatever. And that has that A-I in there. And then you have that, S-E-L-L, and that has that E-L in there for that God. And it makes you feel like a god because you can control men, and they're coming in to buy the stuff to give you the life that you need, and or somebody is selling you something that you need, or you hear something that you like that you can grab onto, or whatever kind of thing, right? And then you have the cell as far as the C-E-L-L. And that C-E-L-L is the sea god, or the sea, there's 2 L's at the end, so that would be the one full E-L-L for the mother spirit or whatever, and then that other L, that little God, brought down, right? And that's man. We're God, but we're little God. We're sons of man, but we can be little God by becoming the sons of God, and we become that light and such. But we have to seek after that light and fill all of our temple up, the different oil in our temple and our brains and stuff. We have to fill that up with light, and once all that light gets connected, then the spirit can come in and light up the whole thing and be that head of the bride and groom. So the C is that 3rd letter. The 3 are 1. All right, and that, notice the other ones have the S. The S is also the 1 and 9 for the 19th letter. That 19th is the 1 and, or that 9 and 1 is the 10 for the, it's not 10, but it wants to have the 10. It's that like tending. And so this is where Satan is cast down. And this is where that countenance comes in, and the fat thereof, and all those little things. Either way, so this S, that equals the 19. That's the AI also. The A is the first letter, the I is the 9th. So that's the 19, the AI. That AI is for that eye of God. AI is pronounced I. So that's the left eye and the right eye, or the right eye and left eye coming together and looking at each other. And if you're seeking after him while you are sailing around this world on your cell phone and all those types of things, and you're learning, or are you just being dumbed down and turned into the beast or whatever, right? So these things are called smart devices or whatever, because we've lived in a world where it's been taken from us, and in order to live in this world that's coming up and or whatever to function, we're going to need that cell phone to buy and sell or whatever. And the mark of the beast are going to see it in an opposite thing, and they're going to throw it down. But as they're throwing it down, they're going into their judgment, and most of the judgment's already been set, and they're all going to be kind of cold naturally kind of thing. But either way, if they're not cold naturally, that's where the dementia or Alzheimer's, all this shit comes in, where they just live in Groundhog Day till they finish out their last 10, 15, 20 years, and they're just inside rotting away, having their drone deliveries, and then the people, the male and female, the light bearers, they get the new world, and they get to repopulate the world, and however it's all going to go. But either way, we see things setting up. So the smart devices, they're there for the people, because man's going to withereth away. And you have to be smart in order to see what's coming for that day Vice. That day Vice is the Day Santis and the Miami Vice and the Florida. The Florida is the casting to the ground for the casting of Day Satan and whatever else. But we have to be smart to be able to see what's going on, to see Jesus coming in the iCloud first, and he's gathering up the bride. But as the people are focused on the sell, and sell, they're not going to see Jesus in the cell. Because Jesus in the cell is in that prison, that prison, and the cell. Notice the cell phone and the cell prison, they both have that CELL on there, because those people are going against the law. They are the Christmen. They are the vagabonds, the fugitives, the robbers. These are the people that Jesus died for. So, and y'all are treating these people like animals, when y'all are the animals. So there's going to be a big flip. And this is where the black sheep, the world is the flock of those white sheep. They're under that light, that false light. The black sheep, those are the ones that Jesus coming for. Those are the ones that's going to go into the new kingdom, that's going to reset things. So Jesus was that black sheep. That's why he had no home. That's why he had to go from place to place. All those other things. But we also need to remember that that Bible is a Jew law book, and there's many parts of Jesus' life that we're not told about. And the Jew law book make you think and believe only what they want you to believe and think, and brainwash you to think, so you can't think outside the box, so you can't see Jesus for who he is. And so you can't see Jesus coming against that Jew religion, so-called Christianity, because it went from the outward Jew, that Jew nation that was crushed and demolished and scattered among all nations, and then Jesus brought it back in that inward Jew to where we can do all things. Paul, a Pharisee, yeah, he saw Jesus, and he wanted to stop what Jesus was going to do. And he came in and the serpent, and he said, you can't do this, that, or the other. And we see who he hates and what he hates in Romans. Jesus came during that Roman Empire. They chopped the head off Jesus, then he built back that Roman Empire. That's the whole story of. It's Jew religion. You're an inward Jew now. You have less laws, but you're still an inward Jew. You're under the law that Jesus did away with. It's a test of men, and you are failing. You're giving your money, you're giving your countenance, you're giving your life over to these men to control, to tell you what's right and wrong for you. Okay? And these are all constructs, lies, construction of the world to tell men how to live. It's a test of men. God made man to where he can do all things, and then he made another man where he can't do all things. And it's just two things there. And obviously the one who, where it says you can't do all things, they're going to come and kill you and lock you up or whatever, obviously that's going to be the system that wins. I mean, it's a no-brainer. So, this is where you get the heart is made first, and then the brain. But the brain controls the heart because it sees things. The heart can't see. It just goes by the flow. But this flow is so strong in our world that it controls things. And that's where you have the mark in the right hand and all this other stuff. Because the right hand is connected to your heart. And your heart is where you spend your time. Where do you spend your time? Where do you spend your money? What do you put in your body? So it's those types of things. While we can do all things, there's a time and season for everything. You can test all things, but you also have to be in tune with your body to where you can know what it's doing to yourself. But the way our world's designed, we are born into the sin nature. We're born under the generational curses of our parents. So sometimes our parents may eat like shit or drink like shit, and we need to recognize it. And we can't eat like them. Therefore, if you don't eat like them, then eventually they're not going to ask you to go out to dinner. They're not going to ask you over. And this is where if you live like me, people are going to persecute you because you're not eating of the world. You're not going out to Applebee's or Chili's or what other shitty restaurants there are, because fast food has it right in one way and the restaurants have it right in another way, but it's switched. So you're getting like We won't get into it, dude. Who cares? If you're still eating fast food in 2023, if you're still drinking soda pops, shit out of a can, whatever kind of thing, you've lost the battle. All right? They're coming for you. All right? That's the beast, man. Do you throw your money away into 401? Do you believe in some bullshit retirement stuff or whatever? Like, what are you putting your cells into? Either way, y'all, retirement, that goes against the Jew law. It tells you to work. Doesn't tell you to save up and stop working. So this is where that Lord is going to gather all these people and he's going to judge them under their law. He ain't come to destroy it. He's come to fulfill it. All right. And he's fulfilling it because you ain't doing what you say. All right. You bunch of hypocrites. All right. And this is what it's all coming out. And that's what Jesus was coming to expose everybody. They're all hypocrites. And that's why nobody could cast the first stone. And that's why Paul said, I still struggle with sin. We know he struggled with sin because he wore a fucking dress. He was a Pharisee. He was one of those robe wearers that Jesus warned you about. And then he doesn't even come with his own 2 or 3 witnesses. He comes with one witness. Cult of Paul. Christians. Parrots. It's all done now, y'all. Temple's being broke down. And it's a beautiful thing. Come out of that church. Take back over your life. Take back over your emotions. Take back over some self-control. All right? But either way, y'all are just all being brought down to hell, and hell is on earth. And that is when you are in bondage of your enemies. And that church is your enemy. That church is Sodom and Gomorrah. The grievous sin. Poor me, grieve me. Y'all, I have a prayer request this week. My Aunt Tammy, she's got gallbladder surgery coming up. If you could just bless the hand of God. Like, do y'all not know what y'all are doing? And then baptism. You're telling not to do occultic practices, but if you know, like, about the occultism or whatever, you're going and dunking a body under the water, and you're doing an occultic ritual practice to cleanse off the old world or whatever. Like, y'all don't even know what you're doing. It's ridiculous. And then you go and drink the blood, the wine, the juice or whatever, the rape juice, and then you eat the bread, the red, because you ain't reading shit. You're just eating whatever garbage they feed you. And then you think you're eating the body and the blood. That's occultic shit, dude. That's like, but what you're doing is occultic rituals that take away your energy. All right? These things that are shown to us that have powers that they talk about, don't go there. It's dark. That's demons. Right? That's shit that was Jesus was doing. He knew about the light. They light the candles and shit because they're bringing light to them with intentions and whatever else. But either way, we're going to figure all this shit out, y'all. Don't you worry. But either way, willing to hear, mark of the beast is in the right hand. That spark's created first, then the heart, then the brain. The brain sees, so therefore it's a reverse thing going on. All right, that light's there for the heart and brain, but since the brain has the eyes and there's a light out here, that light out there controls this light in here. All right, so we're a light filter, and that goes into other videos I've done and blah blah blah. But we can just go on and on, but we're gonna end it here, folks.